save the world!
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, please have a delve if you're curious. My name is Gareth, this is Book, Songs and Other Magic, and this is a monthly wrap-up for October 2025. So with my reading, it's been okay. Not quite as many as I'd normally get for a month, but some interesting reads. A couple of buddy reads. Well, one buddy read. Yeah, one buddy read. It's like a group read, which was really successful, really good. And I'll put the other people down below in the description. But that was really good. It was Occult Detective October, and I only managed to do one book, and it was a bit of a disappointing book as well. So that was a bit of a shame. But anyway, I'll get on with what I read. So this first one is that group read, Project Hail Mary. Finally read it. So I did start reading this before. I don't know if you remember, if you've been watching the channel, but I took this to New Orleans with me, and I couldn't settle into it. And I think it was New Orleans. I think there's so much going on, and there's so much live music. I wanted to go out and do that rather than read. So it's very distracting. So by the time I got in from seeing all the live music, I wasn't awake enough to take it in properly. So I thought it was me. I didn't think it was the book. So I thought I'd leave it for a while. And then this group read came up. So yeah, I'll read it now. And I really liked it. I thought it was really good. There is a review coming up on my channel. It was everything that people have said it was. It was fun. It was thrilling. It was inventive. There was a few twists in it that were interesting. Yeah, so I really liked it. So well done, Andy Weir. He's very good. We also really enjoyed chatting with the other guys about it as well as we were reading it. That was really interesting. And lots of things came up that I wouldn't have thought of or that I didn't notice myself, which was interesting. The next one that I read was for the Occult Detective October event. So I'll put the host down below. I only managed one book, which is not, if we always say if you do one book, you've done the event. But as a host, I always feel like I should do more than that. But this is the fifth one, I think it is, in the Rivers of London series. And this was okay. It dragged on a bit. It sort of flatlined after kind of an interesting beginning. I think about 40, 50 pages in, I was thinking, oh, this is good, I'm going to enjoy this. And then I started really not enjoying it. It started becoming a bit of a chore reading it. So he's got a lovely way of writing. He's very witty and he pulls you in, but not enough happened. It really came to nothing, really, the story. There's like unicorns and fairies in it and stuff. It's got this fantasy element, but there wasn't enough going on. And I tell you what, there's the thing with these books is there's the magic in it is really peripheral. It's not really a big feature of the books, which is really weird. And it was really noticeable in this book. There was a distinct lack of magic in this one. So yeah, not enough happened. Not enough was gripping me. It wasn't thrilling enough or tense enough. It was just all right, you know. So yeah, that was a little bit of a disappointment, that one, and it's actually put me off reading the others. I'm wondering whether it's even worth it. Then I read this really cool graphic novel about Kafka. It's got a really odd way of drawing that I think is quite idiosyncratic and interesting and cute. But Kafka had a really interesting life. He wasn't a very happy person, and his family life was a fairly negative affair. And so his biographical stuff is really interesting, as well as obviously his writing itself. So this kind of portrayed that quite well with this really interesting and strange way of putting the images across. So yeah. I've already shown you that bit. Yeah, so yeah, I quite enjoyed this, and I'm glad I've got it. So completely Kafka. That was a nice little find. And then I read Bob Shaw's Night Walk. Okay, so I bought this specially because Bob Shaw was recommended, and this specific book was recommended when I did this big chat with a bunch of science fiction people for the Rocket Summer event. I remember sort of logged this in my head, thinking I need to get this and I need to read more Bob Shaw. I've got other Bob Shaw books as well. And I was thoroughly disappointed with this. I did not think this was very good. So, as usual, you could throw out that thing that there's some good ideas in it, but the prose is a bit clunky and mundane. He's a bit like, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And there's no real sort of empathy going on. The characters are non-existent. And he's got this thing where the guy is blinded for being a political activist, basically. And he learns to see through other people, their eyes, their perspective, and then through animals. And it's not really explained how this works. Not even in a sort of fantastical, just take my word for it way. It's just done, and you think, okay, a cool concept, but then nothing happens with it. It's the weirdest anticlimax where nothing really happens. So, yeah, I'm not really sure why this is such a applauded book. I wasn't impressed. So, I'm not going to give up on Bob Shaw, but I wasn't impressed. And it's a shame because I was really excited to read it, and I thought it was going to be really good. This was good. Scatterbrain, finally read this. So Shappy is a very funny comedian from the UK, and she's got Iranian descent, and she talks about that in her stand-up comedy. But this is a book about her experiences with ADHD, which is a very important thing for me because I haven't had it diagnosed, but everyone around me and myself thinks I've got ADHD. I'm happiest if I'm doing 3 or 4 different things at the same time. I don't like sitting still for too long. I forget stuff. I'm terrible with dates and numbers, which doesn't mean I'm bad at maths. I'm just terrible at kind of doing forms and stuff, and I'll put things off like that. I'm a last minute kind of guy. There's all sorts of reasons why I've got it. There's all sorts of symptoms of ADHD that I've got. The habit of flicking a pen is something that I've always done, and I just thought it was just a little bit of an odd habit. But now I realise it's doing something with my hands. I have to do something with my hands. And I learned to juggle because I used to sit on the beach as a child and used to juggle stones. That's how I learned to juggle. And really, that's clearly me needing to do something with my hands. So anyway, I've definitely got that. So I was curious to see what she said about this. And it's a really interesting book because she reflects on her life, her relationships, her work, and the way she deals with being self-employed as well at some point in some of it, and finance and stuff. But a lot of the early bit is about her relationships, her boyfriends and stuff like that, and her at school. And she talks about how these different symptoms affect her life. And it becomes a kind of a biography in a lot of ways, but obviously with that as a thread running through the book. And I thought it was good. I thought it was written really well, very funny, very charismatic, very appealing. And if you didn't know anything about ADHD, I think you'd learn a lot about how it affects, if you have got that brain, how it affects how you do things. And it might help your relationships if you have these habits that feel really annoying to your partner, and if they know it's just the way your brain's wired, then they may be more forgiving. That could happen. But yeah, Scatterbrain, it's really good. I've got a song that if you're curious to see it, I wrote it decades ago, and I wrote it for my wife. It's called the Jigsaw Song, and the third verse is my life is amusing, my life is chaotic, my life is ahead of itself, my head is a jigsaw, my head is a sketch, my head is no good for my health. That's the third verse. And I just thought it was just me just saying sorry and confessing to how I'm not always brilliant at doing stuff. And now I know it's an ADHD song, and so it's funny how those things all kind of come into focus a little bit. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was a really good book. Okay, and then the end of the month was me starting this. So this was given to me by Joe from Book Buds. Lovely man, really good friend, love him to pieces. And he sent me this, and I'm more than half the way through now. And I don't think it'll take me too long to finish it. I think it's really good. It's very, very romantic. And there's something going on that is clearly going to be explained at the end. But it's a really interesting and quite unique book, I think. So yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. So if you're watching this, Joe, definitely enjoying this. And I'll finish this soon. I'll tell you what though, I've decided to DNF this. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to get rid of it. So I might pick it up again. But I really am not bothered about reading the rest of it. So I've got about 60 pages in, and I've just got no will to pick it up. And the trouble is, because I'm trying to read Stephen King stuff and finish the ones I haven't read yet that I own, that's getting in the way of that. So I'm going to DNF it and pick up another Stephen King book. So this was part of the Vote for the King thing, where you guys voted for this one. I'll have another look at the selection I put up. But yeah, I'm just not feeling it. I know, it's a bit naff. It's a bit naff. This is the next one on the Ray Bradbury deep dive. So if you've been following my channel, you know I'm reading everything chronologically. So this is the next one after Dandelion Wine. And some of the stories in this have been featured before. But The Small Assassin is an amazing short story. But yeah, this is my Panther edition of The Small Assassin. So I'll be reading that through the month as well, through next month. So I haven't started that yet. And another thing I'll be reading is buddy reading this, the second book of the Farseer trilogy, with Dave from Booktuber. I'll be reading this with him. So this is quite a chunker. It's not particularly a fast read from what I can remember from the first book. So this is going to take up a lot of the month. So we'll see how we get on. But I'm going to be reading this with Dave. I'm also going to be reading The Man Who Fell to Earth by Walter Tevis. I'll be reading that with Al. The first time I've buddy read something with Al from Big Hard Books and Classics. So I'm looking forward to reading that. I'm looking forward to reading it. I'm also looking forward to reading it with him, although I know he reads a lot faster. So it might be similar to when I've buddy read with Ollie from Criminology, where I just said, how are you getting on with that? And he said, oh, I finished it 2 days ago. So I'm hoping it won't be like that, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The Man Who Fell to Earth, and I've got some other Walter Tevis I want to read as well. One that's been directly recommended to me by Ollie as well. So yeah, I'm hoping to have a little bit of a Walter Tevis journey as well in the next little while, as well as my Percival Everett journey as well. So there we are. That's where we are with my reading and how I did in October. So some successes, not a mass amount of books, but it's been a funny old month. Lots of new stuff I've had to do, and I went on a holiday, although I did read a fair bit on the holiday. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Please comment below on those books or any other books that are kind of similar that you'd recommend, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Stay curious, everybody. Picture of what it's like to be